Hello, everyone. This is Lynn Swango with the Monticello Sages taking on the St. Teresa Bulldogs in the Class 3A football game, one that we've all been waiting for. It's a home game for the first time, and the Sages in the playoffs. And we got a beautiful day. It is chilly, but it doesn't seem all that bad because we got bright sunshine. And we got a good crowd here as we would be expected. St. Teresa has brought a very big crowd. They filled all their bleachers, and they've got people standing along the sidelines. And it's just a great day for a football game, and we expect to have a wonderful football game. Monticello played St. Teresa earlier in this year and didn't do well. We had one of our poorer games. Got in trouble fumbling early and turned the ball over, and St. Teresa took advantage of it and got a big lead and ended up beating us 48-12. But Monticello Sages have won their last 5 games, so things are looking up, and we hope that they can play well today. The winner advances on in the playoffs. The other one closes out their season. St. Teresa comes in unbeaten. The Monticello come in with a 7-5 record. Ready to play football. Monticello will be receiving. St. Teresa kicking off. Monticello's starting lineup on offense will be Chris Baker and Josh Blickham at the ends, Schroeder and Bennett, Husengay and Woodham and Wildman in the line, and of course Dawson, Doan, and Striegel, and Gaskell will be the wide receiver. Here comes the opening kick. It's a high kick, fairly deep. It's caught by Monticello up at the 20, 25, knocked down at about the 28-yard line. So Monticello will not have the world's greatest field position, but not bad. Pat Striegel comes into the game with 1,556 yards rushing this season, averaging 5.5, and he's played really well in recent games in that 5-game winning streak. Sages are out of the huddle with a single setback. That would be Striegel. Man in motion goes to the right. Looking to Striegel, comes up the middle, breaks the tackle, and falls forward for about 3 or 4 yards. Well, that's closer to 5, so it'll be second down coming up from the 32-yard line with 5 yards to go for the first down. I think the key to the game may be how Monticello plays in the first quarter. They can't afford the bad start that they got last time. Dawson looking to throw. He's got a man open right out here at the side. It's complete. And that's Gaskell, and Adam Gaskell gets the first down plus about 6 or 7 more yards. He was wide open, and a nice pass from Jack Dawson. Ball's on a 45-yard line of Monticello, 1st and 10. If you just joined us, we just started. Sages took the kickoff, and they've ran 2 plays. 11-17 left in the first quarter. Man in motion again. And it's pitched to Striegel, trying to cut back, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage, and he might have fallen across for a yard. A nice tackle got him around the ankles. McElroy made the stop. He got about a foot, so it's going to be second down, and we'll give him a yard, call it 9. So St. Teresa and Monticello. Oak foes. Man in motion again, same offense. Striegel straight ahead, not much of a hole, and he only got about 2 yards. So it's going to be a 3rd down and 7. So the Sages may be in a passing situation. They're up on the 48-yard line, their own 48. They've been sending Michael Doan in motion every play to the right, and they're leaving Striegel as a single setback. Now we got receivers on both sides. There goes Doan in motion again on 3rd down now. Looking to throw is Dawson. Got a little time. He's going to go deep, and it's incomplete. We had 2 receivers, almost 3 receivers in the same spot. That's hard to believe. A lot of humanity there on that football, and the Sages definitely in a kicking situation here. Somebody was running the wrong pattern because too many receivers in one spot. The line did a great job holding out, giving quarterback plenty of time. McElroy's back to catch the punt along with Durbin. Monticello will be kicking. Michael Doan gets a good snap. He got a kick. It's not very long. Let's see how it bounces. doesn't take much of a bounce either. It rolls forward to about the 34-yard line. So Doan's kick is only about 27 yards. St. Teresa will take over. St. Teresa was not favored to win the O-Call. When the season started, Warrensburg-Latham was the favorite, and probably Central A&M, number 2. But the Bulldogs clobbered Warrensburg in the opening game of the season, and everybody knew they were a contender, and they proved that was no fluke. There's handoff right ahead to Adam Nelson. He's hit hard by the Sages. Picked up about 2. Went off the left side. Tackle was made by Norfleet and Striegel. Second down and 8 for St. Teresa from the 36-yard line. Nobody scored yet. 9:23 left here in the first quarter. Quarterback is hands off. Again, the same play, this time doing a much better job running, is Adam Nelson. He's close to the first down. He's probably about a yard away. They spot the ball on about the 43-yard line. Short 1 to go. Nelson and McElroy sort of share the running for St. Teresa, and Cormelink is the quarterback. 3rd and 1 for the Bulldogs. Cormelink hands the ball to the tailback this time, and McElroy's knocked down very close to the first down. He may have it. They spot the ball on the 45-yard line of St. Teresa, and that is a first down. Dawson, well, I'll give you this. I got a lot of season stats here that I like to bring up as the game goes on. Kim Baker has been responsible for keeping the stats, and he puts them on the internet. Does a great job. Monticello has a complete set of stats just like any college would have. 2 wide receivers out there. Cormelink hands off, and straight ahead is McElroy. Picked up about 3. That was a passing formation with twin receivers on the left-hand side. 8 minutes left in the first quarter, no score. Each team has had the ball once. Coming up is Cormelink, the quarterback, on second down. Fakes, he's going to throw the ball. He's got time, he can't find anybody. He's going to run, and he's brought down at the line of scrimmage. Coming through with the tackle for Monticello, Kyle Husengay, but he had a lot of help. And he fumbled the ball, and Monticello recovered the fumble. How about that? I did not know there was a fumble. The Sages are jumping up and down, and Monticello takes over. Sages have got the ball now in St. Teresa territory on the 48-yard line. Man in motion coming this way now. Dawson's in trouble. Now he throws it. He dropped it. Gaskell had it and dropped it. Dawson did a great job of avoiding the tackle, but Gaskell couldn't hang on to the ball. Very seldom will you see Gaskell drop anything near him. It'll be 2nd down and 10 now for Monticello. Now we're giving the ball to Striegel. He's got a little hole. He picked up about 5 yards. Line did a good job in giving him some running room that time. It's going to be 3rd down and 5 now from the 43-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down. Sages up to the line of scrimmage. Again, we send a man in motion. Striegel straight ahead. Got a little hole, and he got the first down, I believe. He got to the 40 or the 36-yard line, and I believe that's going to be enough for a first down. Again, we got to credit the line with giving him some room to run. Nobody questions Striegel running hard. He runs hard every game, but sometimes he's got bigger holes than others. Doan again in motion. Striegel no hole this time, and he barely gets forward to about a yard. But Monticello should be in the 4-down zone if they choose to go that way. So they've got 3 downs to make 9 yards. No score, 6:27. This is Lynn Swango bringing you the ball game from Monticello in a Class 3A playoff game, the 3rd round. Both these Okaw teams have reached the 3rd round, as have 2 other Okaw teams, Central A&M and Argenta. Fake to Striegel on a pitch. Now he's straight ahead and he doesn't make much. That was a fake pitch and then a handoff. He crossed the 35 down to about the 34. We got a St. Teresa player down, and we're going to have a injury timeout. All right, here come the Sages out of the huddle on 3rd and 7 from the 34. Drop the ball, picks it up. It's going to be a pass. It's too high, incomplete. He tried to throw it out to Brian Colbert, but he couldn't handle the ball. It was a little bit high. It would have been short of a first down anyway. And Monticello's sending in a punting team. The line of scrimmage is the 34, so they hope to get St. Teresa back on their heels near the goal line. The wind is blowing directly into the face of the punter, so I doubt very much if Doan will kick it in the end zone. Oh, he sent it over his head. Way over his head. Way back. And he kicked it anyway. And it guts back to about the 45-yard line. My goodness. Big loss for the Sages. Is that not only did the snap go over his head, it went rolled and rolled and rolled. That really hurts. St. Teresa gets the ball in the Monticello 45-yard line. I would assume that that's the best Doan could do, try to punt on the dead run. He did get the ball forward 15 yards or so. The fear I had would be kicking right into the arms of a St. Teresa player, and then we would have been in trouble. St. Teresa's got a big break. They sent 2 receivers out to the side. Give it to McElroy. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle by H.R. Colbert. That's a 2-yard loss. 5:11 left in the first quarter with no score. A couple of breaks by both teams. St. Teresa fumbled, gave Monticello the ball near midfield at the 48. And, of course, Monticello's snap over the head of the punter gave St. Teresa the ball in even better field position. Now there's a second man through, and he's knocked down. That's McElroy. He didn't make a whole lot. Monticello's defense so far has been very aggressive. 3rd and 11. He got about a yard on the play. The wind is definitely a factor. The wind is coming right out of the north. Temperature is up in the high 30s, and the sun is shining. It does not feel that cold. I don't think the temperature is going to affect the play. St. Teresa brings a man in motion. Quarterback is looking to throw, and he's hit and decked. He's knocked down by Monticello's Chad Marshall. He sacked him for a big loss, and St. Teresa's looking at a punt. Carmelink turned to throw, and there was Marshall right in his face. We have one man back to catch the punt for Monticello. That's Mike Feeney. He fumbles the ball, and he fell on it, and Monticello's going to get it on about the 17-yard line. Not good field position. The ball bounced. Feeney couldn't handle it. So both teams are guilty of making some big offensive mistakes, but both are very tough on defense. First down for the Sages on their own. They mark it on the 19-yard line. Monticello sends one man wide on each side and a man in motion. It's Striegel straight ahead. Gets across the 20 to about the 22. It's going to be good for about 3 yards. 3:27 left in the first period with no score. Again, it's been a real defensive battle, and offenses have helped the defense by some big mistakes. Back to throw. He's going to throw a short pass complete to Gaskell. Gaskell's knocked out of bounds, but he got a first down on about the 33-yard line. Gaskell has got 2 catches today, and he comes into the game with 45, so he's now got 47 catches. That's number 2 on the all-time list, and he passed up one of the volunteer coaches, Albaugh, who was the second. Number 1, of course, is 63 catches made several years back. There's a dive straight ahead. Father E has 63 catches back. I think it was in 91. So, first play from scrimmage picked up 2 yards. First quarter is winding down. 2 minutes and 27 seconds left. Dawson hands off to Striegel, and he's tackled at the line of scrimmage and falls forward for practically no gain. Neither team can move the ball so far. Yeah, I don't think he made anything. He's just back at the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and 9. Again, the receiver's wide on each side. We're in a deuce backfield. Back to throw is Dawson. Looks straight down the middle, and is intercepted by St. Teresa at midfield. Trying to hit Baker, the tight end, and it's intercepted. He did not intercept it. It hit the ground, so it's an incomplete pass. So the Sages will be punting. I tell you, into that win, I'm not sure that punting isn't about as dangerous as having it intercepted. Doan is standing on the 21, looking for a good snap. He got a good one this time. Got a nice high kick. Going to be back to about the 33, but it's going to have a return at the sidelines. Goes McElroy, and he got across the 50. I was right. They'd have been just as well off if the pass had been intercepted, because he got it down to the 46. Monticello has a player down now. That's Chad Marshall. All right, St. Teresa now with the ball after the punt return from the Monticello 46. Cormelink, the quarterback, has a man at end, comes around to the other side. They're unbalanced to the right. And he keeps the ball, and he's going to carry it himself, and guts to the 40-yard line. Cormelink faked to one man and turned up the field. St. Teresa got 6 yards. We got 1:25 minutes left here in the first period. All right, St. Teresa now with 2nd and 4 from the 40. Again, they put the end, but he's taking back to the other side and making him unbalanced left. There goes the ball over the left side, and he breaks through the line, and still on his feet and running is McElroy down to about the 33-yard line with a first down. So St. Teresa will be on the Monticello 34 with a first down. 53 seconds left in the first period on a beautiful day out here for a football game. In spite of the fact that temperature's in the 30s, but trust me, doesn't feel that cold with the bright sunshine. The wind doesn't appear to be all that strong come out of the north. There's a handoff to the second man, McElroy again, and he goes ahead. He lost the ball. McElroy fumbled. I don't know who got it. And St. Teresa recovered their own fumble, so McElroy picked up 6 yards down to the 27-yard line. 10 seconds left in the period. I don't think we'll get another playoff. So it's going to, first quarter is going to end here, 0-0. All right, Monticello on defense. St. Teresa starts the second quarter in good position in a scoreless game. Second down and about 4. McElroy got some room to get the first down, and he got it down to about the 22-yard line. Let's see where they spot it. He may not have got a good spot. It may not be a first down. No, it is. First down for St. Teresa. So the Bulldogs threatening the Sages here early in the second period. McElroy, the tailback. Nelson, the fullback, right in front of him, out of the I formation. McElroy lines up 7 yards deep. Gives it to Nelson, and he's going to be driving his way for about 6 yards. Nelson, the fullback, did a good job. The Monticello's other tacklers didn't come up for help quick enough. He was able to push the one tackler 4 or 5 yards before he finally went down. So it's going to be second down and about 2. Husengay with the stop, but needed some help. All right, let's see what the Bulldogs do on 2nd and 2. Gives it the second man through, and he's thrown behind the line of scrimmage. Coming across and making the tackle for Monticello was H.R. Colbert. He has his second behind the line tackle. Outstanding play, and it's going to be third down for the Bulldogs now, and now about 3. All right, here we go. Back to throw. Throws a flat one across, it's caught, and I believe it's close to the first down. A very short pass thrown by Cormalick, and knocked out of bounds was Davis. And they mark it first down. So a little short pass stops the clock and gives the Bulldogs a first down on the Monticello 13-yard line. All right, 1st and 10 on the 12. Sages digging in on defense. Man in motion for the Bulldogs out to the left. Straight ahead is big hole for McElroy, and he stopped at about the 5. This game has been devoid of penalties, but not devoid of mistakes. St. Teresa has got a fumble. Monticello's had a bad snap over the kicker's head, and Bulldogs are now down to the 7. He can get a first down on about the 2-yard line. Cormalick, the quarterback, again sends the man in motion. Get to Nelson. Nelson's close to the first down on about the 3. See where they mark that one. Got a yellow balloon out on the field, and it almost looks like a yellow flag out of the corner of your eye. They filled with helium, but the helium is now lifting it up enough to get it out of here. All right, big down for St. Teresa. 3rd and 1 for the first down, 3rd and 3 for the touchdown. Man in motion to the left. He gives it off to Nelson, and Nelson got to about the 1. I think he's got a first down. They're just pounding it out. It is a first down on about the 2 or 2.5 yard line. Here we go. Hands off, a dive play, and I believe Nelson's in the end zone. St. Teresa's Adam Nelson scores the first touchdown of the game. So with 8 minutes and 35 left in the first half, the Bulldogs take the lead. They're going to try the extra point, and it's going to be Josh Durbin kicking. Got it up in the air, it's high enough, and it's good, and St. Teresa leads 7-0. St. Teresa will be kicking off. Monticello has back to catch the punt. Doan, he's at the, I can't see their numbers. I think Doan's at the top of the screen. Here comes the kick. It's a line drive kick. Doan is going to catch it at about the 10-yard line. He's at the 15 behind blockers. Still running, still on his feet, and knocked down at about the 35-yard line. Good return by Michael Doan. So on the 35-yard line, the Sages will take over, trailing here 7-0. The winner here goes to the semifinals of Class 3A. Dawson, the quarterback, sends Doan in motion, a single setback. He's looking to throw. He's got one deep, and he a little overthrown, trying to hit Gaskell down on about the 30. St. Teresa had a little bit of pressure on Dawson, but it's still the offensive line seems to be doing a good job protecting him on passes. Wide to the bottom of the screen now for Monticello's Brian Colbert. And the top of the screen is Adam Gaskell. Single setback is Striegel. Man in motion now. Doan comes to this side. Option to Striegel. Cuts in between two runners. Breaks another tackle. Breaks another one. And Striegel got about 7 or 8 that time on a nice run on the option. They spot the ball on the 43-yard line, so it's going to be about 2 yards, short 2. Same formation, but with Blicken in it, tailback, straight ahead, and I don't know what happened, but it wasn't good. See where they mark it. He did not make it. Stop. They mark it right on the line of scrimmage, and that's going to make it 4th down and a foot. Monticello may take a timeout here. Nope, they're going to send in a kicking team on their own 44-yard line. In a game where you're the underdog, and no question about it, Monticello's the underdog, I'm not sure that a gamble wouldn't be in order here. And they may try to pull him offside. He's got the snap. He's got the win at his back now. A good kick. It doesn't take a good bounce, though, for the Sages at all. And it's down at about the 28-yard line. St. Teresa will take over. 7 minutes left in the half. St. Teresa leading 7-0. Teresa with 2 receivers wide on the right side as a passing formation. But they hand it to Nelson, and Nelson is hit hard after he picked up about 4 or 5. That gave him more yards than I thought he got. He's at the 35-yard line. He picked up about 6. So it'll be St. Teresa with 2nd down. Line of scrimmage is their own 34. And again, they got the same formation. Quarterback on the option. He keeps the ball. Doesn't make hardly anything. Maybe a yard. Good defense. Carmelik was the ball carrier. Marshall made the stop. Marshall was hurt earlier in the game, but he's back in the lineup. We're glad to see that. 5:50 left in the half. Monticello trails by a touchdown. St. Teresa 7, Monticello nothing. Now, coach, there's something going on. Probably an injury, or equipment problem, because going to the sidelines is Adam Nelson. I don't know what's going on. I don't think we've got a timeout, but well, here we go. We don't know what the delay was about. However, they did take Nelson out of the game, and they've got a different tailback. 3rd down and about 1. There's a straight ahead dive. It's good enough for the first down. Got to the 40-yard line. That was McElroy. It's a huge crowd here today. St. Teresa has brought a big crowd, and Monticello, of course, we would expect them. They're the home team to have a big crowd. But I don't think I've ever seen that many people in the visitor stands before. But when you got an unbeaten season going for you and you're in the playoffs, you get good following. All right, let's watch this now on first down. Tailback McElroy knocked down hard at the line of scrimmage. He was really hit by Pat Striegel, the linebacker. 2nd down and 10. All right, the Bulldogs now have a receiver wide on each side. They're in the I formation with a man in motion coming back now. That'll make 2 receivers on this side. But he hands off to Nelson, and Nelson, wait a minute, he faked the ball to Nelson, and Cormelink kept it, but he only made a couple of yards. So St. Teresa's looking at a 3rd down and 7 from the 43-yard line. It's 4:22 left in the half. Sages need to hold and get the ball, and maybe they can put one on the board and tie up this game by the half. Crowd here is trying to get the defense fired up. And there's a flag, and that's the first flag I remember in the entire game. St. Teresa's going to get a 5-yard penalty. I think that's the first penalty. Yes, so it's going to be 3rd for St. Teresa, and now they got to go 11. They're on their own 39. It's definitely a passing situation, but they do pass, but they prefer to run the ball, no question about it. They've been very successful by using those running backs, McElroy and Nelson, this year. They don't make many mistakes, folks. You can run the ball and grind it out if you don't make mistakes, but they made one there. They got a 5-yard penalty. Cormelink back to throw this time. He's got a receiver. I think he's out of bounds. It is incomplete. Incomplete, out of bounds, so it'll be a punting situation. And Mike Feeney is coming in. He'll be back to catch the punt for the Sages. 4th and 11. Sages got a chance to get some field position here. Here comes the snap, a low snap. He got the low kick away. He had to hurry it. And it goes to the 40. It's going to roll. Picked up by Feeney on the 31. And he gets through a couple of guys and got to the 36. So a kick that was hurried turned out to be pretty decent for the Bulldogs. Monticello Sages and the St. Teresa Bulldogs. You've heard that many times through the years. The Bulldogs have been in the Okaw Valley up since, I don't know the exact year, but back in the early 70s, around 73. This is Striegel. He's grinding, twisting, and turning, and Striegel earned 5 yards. He's a great running back. We're going to miss him and give him 7 yards. Pat Striegel come into the game, as I told you earlier, with 1,556 yards. 1,000 yards rushing in a season is considered outstanding. Second down for Monticello, looking to throw on second down. There's a completed pass to Gaskell. He got about 5 or 6 yards gain and got it to midfield, but the clock is going to be a factor here pretty soon. Down to 2:52. So they mark right on the midfield stripe. Monticello Sages need to move the ball with the wind at their back. They may be forced to throw more than they want to here because of the clock. Striegel trying to get outside. He breaks the tackle, but he can't get all. Well, he almost broke the tackle. McElroy finally brought him down by hanging on. If he could have gotten away from McElroy, he'd had a big gain, but instead he gets 3 yards. Much different contest than the first time these teams met. St. Teresa broke on top early and won 48-12. It's been a pretty much even battle, but St. Teresa did grind out the only touchdown of the game. Oh, Striegel makes nothing. And they tried to go off the left side, and he was hit hard. Bragg made this tackle. So Monticello now is looking at 3rd and 8 from the St. Teresa 48. Bulldogs 7 and the Sages nothing. 1:52 left in the first half. 2 receivers wide to the left. Running the ball is a quarterback, and he's getting hit. Hit at midfield, so Monticello's going to have to punt. They're going to be looking at 4th and 10. And the clock's still running. It's down under 1:30 now. I'm telling you, there's nothing much better than a playoff football game. 4th down. Let's get a good snap and see if we can't get the punt, and we'll have to hold the Bulldogs. 1:10 left. He gets a high kick, not too good a kick. It's going to the side of the field, and it bounces out of bounds, but it got down to the 29-yard line. So the kick went about 21 yards. Now, St. Teresa may choose to still keep the ball on the ground, having confidence in their defense and protecting their lead. They may not gamble too much to try to move the ball down the field in 1 minute and 3 seconds. We'll see what happens. I noticed Donaldson is playing for the Sages. He was a questionable starter in the line on defense. There's a first down, and McElroy, he got about 8 or 9 yards. Got up to the 38. Nice gain of 9 yards, but the clock's still moving. They're not making any effort to stop it. 47 seconds left. He picked up 9 yards. 40 seconds now at the 38-yard line of St. Teresa. Straight ahead to McElroy again. He gets the first down and gets up to the 45-yard line. I would assume Monticello's in sort of a loose defense. They're not going to try to tackle people in the backfield. They're going to try to make sure they don't break a big run. Clock stops momentarily to move the chains. It's at the 45-yard line. Donaldson made that stop. And it's running again now. It's 24 seconds, and if St. Teresa doesn't try to stop the clock, one more running play will end the half. They have a man in motion out here. He is going to try to throw. Now, quarterback is going to choose to run with it, and he runs out of bounds at about the 48-yard line with 8 seconds left. So I imagine they'll fire a Hail Mary on this last play of the half. You can play cautious football when you have confidence, and the Bulldogs are playing like a team with confidence. Monticello is playing very hard. Great defensive effort today, and we've moved the ball on offense, but we haven't got it across the goal line. It's been a real good, well-played, even football game with only 1 penalty. You can't ask for much more than that. Man in motion here on this last play of the half. They're going to dive straight ahead, and McElroy gets to about the 43, but it's a first down, and the clock has 3 seconds, so they start the clock when they move the chains. This will be the end of the half. The only score of the half was Nelson's 3-yard run and a kick by Durbin, and that gave St. Teresa their 7. And the clock is wound up, and that's the end of the half. 7-0 St. Teresa. Of 8 passes for 30 yards, he completed all 3 of them to Adam Gaskell. For the Bulldogs, they have 2 big running backs. Nelson picked up 20 yards in 7 carries, and McElroy picked up 60 yards in 14 carries. So the score is 7-0 on Nelson's touchdown, a 3-yard run, and we're about ready to start the second half. St. Teresa will be receiving, and Monticello will be kicking off. Sages break the huddle. They'll be going with the wind at their back in the third period. Great crowd here today. Everyone seems to be fired up on both sides of the field. Players are playing a good football game. Only 1 penalty in the first half. Good sportsmanship everywhere, and it's just great to be able to watch a high school football game on a November afternoon like this with some semifinals of the Class 3A playoffs going to the winner. Monticello's will kick off, and of course that'll be Alex Moody. St. Teresa has McElroy at the bottom of the screen and Durbin at the top. St. Teresa on top, 7-0, and we got a whole half to go. Here's the kick from Moody. A line drive kick. May go out of bounds. No, it's going to be picked up on a 9-yard line by Durbin. He's trying to come back. He's going to be swarmed under down about the 17, 18-yard line, so that worked out really well for the Sages. And the Bulldogs will take over in not too good a field position. Let's see where they finally mark it. Trading footballs. They mark it on the 19-yard line. The old rule of thumb in high school football that you're probably going to return the kick somewhere between the 30 and the 35. My partner, usual partner, Kurt, who isn't here today, always says if you can get it past the 35, it's a good return. If you get it less than the 30, it's a bad return, and somewhere in between is average. That's about right. Man in motion for the Bulldogs. I always wonder about the first play, whether they're going to do anything different. Nope. They went to the weak side, Nelson over the weak side, and he powered his way for about 5 yards. They had line and unbalanced to the wide side of the field. They sent a man in motion to the wide side of the field, and they gave the ball to the fullback going over to the weak side. Bulldogs out of the eye. Nelson the up back, McElroy the tailback. Again, they send the man in motion over here to the wide side of the field. Same play again, and Nelson powers his way for the first down across the 31-yard line. Mike Kormelink is the quarterback for the Bulldogs, and Baker made the stop for Monticello on that play. And St. Teresa's moved the ball up to the 31-yard line now, first down. Monticello's linebackers in the inside are Norfleet and Striegel. They always make a lot of tackles. Straight ahead, McElroy, and he's smothered after a short gain. Well, he got about 3 or 4. He's the tailback. Give him 4 yards. Pretty good gain. Second down and 6. Sage is substituting, bringing out Kyle Husengay. Defensively, Monticello, most of the time in the line, you'll see Mason, Wildman, Clark, Donaldson, Robbins. On second down, same formation, I formation. They hand it off to Nelson, and he's thrown for backwards about 5 yards, but of course he probably will get the line of scrimmage. Monticello was waiting on that play. That was the same as the first play that we started the half with. Schroeder was a big man in on that tackle. So 3rd and almost 6 now Ball resting right on the St. Teresa 35-yard line. The Bulldogs leading 7-0 with 9:40 left in the third period. Man in motion, and Cormelink hands off. No, he keeps it. Cormelink pitches it outside to McElroy, and he tries to dive forward for the first down. I don't know whether he got it or not. They moved the end of the chain. No, he didn't make it because the guy moved out of the way with the chain, and he actually missed it by a little over 2 yards. So with a 1-touchdown lead, Bulldogs are going to be forced to punt in their own territory. Line of scrimmage being the 38. So the Sages held them on the first series here in the third period. Back to punt is St. Teresa, only one back. That's Feeney. Kick is a floater, and they're going to have to stay away from it. It's going to come down on about the 36-yard line. Monticello will take over on their own 36. Not a bad kick into the wind. Sages come into the game with 7 wins against 4 losses. St. Teresa, of course, is unbeaten. Monticello has a receiver wide to each side. They're in a pro set backfield with 2 backs. Looking to throw on first down now. It's complete to Gaskell. Can't go very far, but he got about 7 yards. Nice pass from quarterback Jack Dawson. And he made 8 yards. It's up to the 44-yard line of Monticello, and it'll be 2nd and 2. Sun's dipping in behind the clouds now. It may get a little cooler this second half. They send Doan in motion to the bottom of the screen. The option. This is Striegel trying to cut back. He gets away from a guy, and he is really decked with a great tackle by St. Teresa's Cormelink, their quarterback, but I believe he might have a first down. They mark it on the 48, and it is a first down for Monticello. Cormelink come up from his safety man position. Monticello's got man in motion to the top of the screen, back to throw. Got plenty of time. He's going to throw it out to Baker. Short gain. Baker got about 6 yards and made a nice catch and a well-thrown pass because he was covered. Give him 7. Call it second down from the 45, and Monticello is taken to the air here in the third period. 8:04 left in the period. This time we got Colbert wide to the right. Hands to Striegel, got a hole. Striegel picks a man. He's still going at the 30, and he's down to the 29-yard line. Pat Striegel brought the ball down to the market on the 30-yard line, and the Sages are driving here. That's what happens when you complete a couple of passes. It opens up the running game, and you don't have to give Pat Striegel much room for an opening. Plays brought in by Josh Blicken. The Sages moving. Now we have a single setback. Striegel looking to throw. It's Dawson. He's in trouble. He's got to keep the ball. And he managed to move forward and got a yard. Didn't find anybody open that time. Colbert alternating at wide receiver brings in this play. Wide to the left is Adam Gaskell. They're going to give it to Striegel. He's trying to break a tackle. He's got a few, but not much. Not enough, because Monticello is going to look at a third down situation now with about 7 yards to go. Up over the ball for the Sages is Ryan Woodham. 3rd down and 7 from the 27. Gonna throw. He's looking for his favorite receiver, but he missed him. Gaskell, he overthrew him a little bit. That probably would have been good enough for a first down. So the Sages looking at a fourth down here. There would be no point in punting. They're on the 27-yard line. The ball would just go in the end zone probably and come out to the 20. So we may see another pass play. This drive was helped out by a nice long run by Striegel. Again, we got Striegel as the only setback. Looking to throw. He's in a hurry. It's a little screen. And Striegel dropped the ball. He dropped the ball. I don't know if he'd have made a first down or not, but he had a good shot at it. And Monticello turns it over. I don't know if I've seen him use that play this year. With a single setback, he went out short and was open. So the Bulldogs have the ball. So the Sages have to dig in now on defense. 6:12 left in the third period. Bulldogs up by a touchdown. There's a dive to Nelson, and he goes off the right tackle and got about 3. He's a strong, big back. He's not real tall. He's listed at 5'10" and 175, and I don't believe a word of it. He's bigger than that. All right, here we go again. Uh-oh, Monticello moved into the neutral zone. That's going to cost them. First penalty that they've had the whole ball game. It'll be a 5-yard walk-off, and that's going to make it second and about 1. Monticello and St. Teresa both break the huddle. Second and about a yard from the 35-yard line of St. Teresa. Quarterback keeping it. He's hit twice and knocked down at the line of scrimmage, and I don't think he made it. I think he lost a yard. It was an option play, and he chose to keep the ball instead of lateral. 5:07 left in the third period, and St. Teresa's got a 3rd and 2 now. I'm sure they wish they'd handed it off. Here we go on 3rd down. It's Nelson going off, and he didn't make it. Nelson should be short. We'll have to wait and see. It's close. It's going to be very close. They're going to measure it, I believe. They're going to measure. Suns pop back out again. Well, we got our usual group that has no shirts on down here. I never could understand that. It's not a first down. Well, let's see what they go with. Whether they're going to go for it or not. They are going to line up in a regular formation. I look for Nelson to get it off the right side. That's a play they like. There he goes, and I think he got it. That's got a flag on the play. I thought flag is on Monticello, so it's going to be first down for the Bulldogs. So 4:24 left here in the third period, and St. Teresa has a 1st and 10 on their own 44. Wide receivers on both sides of the field for the Bulldogs. Out of the eye again. Nelson and McElroy in the backfield. Gives it to McElroy comes across and got a short gain. He came across the 45-yard line, got to about the 46. Give him 2 yards. That was the old counter play where they faked the ball to Nelson off the right guard and give it to McElroy coming off the left guard, but it didn't fool anybody. So it's on the 46 now. 3:43 left in the third period. Bulldogs over the Sages 7-0 in a really tight defensive battle here on a cool but nice crisp afternoon. Bulldogs send Andrew over to the other side, giving them an unbalanced line. Straight ahead, that's a hole, that time filled quickly. A really good tackle that time by Norfleet. And Norfleet was helped out by Blicken, and they stopped Nelson for about a 4-yard gain when it looked like he was going to make a big one. Norfleet's not very big, but he's a tough tackler. So it's 3rd and 6. Big play for both teams. Monticello could get a ball back if they can hold them here. Again, they move the end over to the right side. Quarterback's going to option. Oh boy, outside. McElroy is knocked down and a flag on the play. It's very close to a 1st down. I don't know if he made it or not, but there's flags. If it is a face mask on the Sages, it'll be a walk-off. Face mask on Monticello, so that's going to give St. Teresa another 1st down, this time in Monticello territory. That'll be a 15-yard walk-off. That hurts. Moves the ball down to the 32, and St. Teresa's now in the 4-down zone. Sages have come close to holding them, but penalties, and then St. Teresa went for it once and made it. St. Teresa's does a great job in not fumbling and not making mistakes. They've got a grinded-out offense, and they can't afford mistakes, and they just don't make very many. Cormelink brings his team up to the line of scrimmage again. Long count, and he hands it off to McElroy, and he's got a big gainer this time. Now that was Nelson. Nelson picked up about 10 yards. Down to the 23-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 1. St. Teresa's grinding it out. They're getting down in the scoring zone now at the 23. Sages can't afford to let them score here. It's been tough to move the ball. They're already down 1 touchdown. This is Nelson going off tackle for a yard or so, but he may have got a 1st down. I believe he got the 1st down up to about the 20-yard line. They mark it on the 20, and it'll be 1st and 10 for St. Teresa. They're still going to stay on the ground, I would assume, until we stop them. We have certainly slowed them, but we can't completely stop them. Probably one of the best defensive efforts up to this point as Monticello's had all year against a very good football team. The top-seeded team in the 8 teams in our section. There goes off tackle again to Nelson. Nelson, see, they mark, that was a short gain, about 2 or 3. Mark it on the 18-yard line. So it's 2nd down and 8. 1:07 with the clock running here at the end of the third period. St. Teresa again in the I formation. They're just running those 2 running backs at us. Long count. This one's to McElroy, and he tries to duck inside. He should have went outside. because he didn't make but about a yard. He got down to about the 15-yard line. And St. Teresa may be forced to go outside or throw the ball because they're looking at a 3rd down and about 6. .27 left in the 3rd period. Carmelik, the quarterback. We're going to throw. Got time, running, in trouble, tackled for a loss. Knocked him down on the 21-yard line. He did not find a receiver open, and he had to keep the ball. Now they're going to look at 4th and about 10. And it's going to be in the next quarter. That's the end of the 3rd period with St. Teresa leading Monticello 7-0. As we start the final period of this playoff game, St. Teresa's 4th and 10 from the Monticello 21. They're going to try a field goal. They're going to spot the ball on the 27 and 28. It'll be a 38-yard attempt. It's put down. The kick is wide. Wide and into the end zone. And Monticello is held, and they'll take over. They had the wind at their back. It was an opportunity possibly to make a field goal. It was probably a pretty good call, but the kick was way wide to the left. So the Monticello Sages take over. Now, Sages got a long ways to go from the 21. All right, on 1st down, looking to throw is a quarterback. He's thrown a knocked down by a lineman. Nelson, or I guess he was a linebacker who knocked that pass down and tried to get it out this side. Not successful. I'll tell you, the last time I saw a crowd that impressed me with size here was a St. Teresa game back in the 70s, but we didn't have near as many seats then, so this one could be a lot bigger. Looking through quarterback Dawson, keeping it. He got a little room. He got 5. He's got about 8 or 9 yards, I think. He's at about the 30-yard line. So they're going to mark the ball short of the 1st down, put it on the 29, and 11:28 left in the ball game. The clock is going to be a factor. The Sages need to move the ball and get a touchdown. Straight ahead. Striegel gets the 1st down and then some, up to about the 35. Sages come out of the huddle. Looking to throw, a short one, complete to Colbert for about 6 yards. So it's going to be 2nd down, and we'll call it 4. Monticello on 2nd down now. Fakes to Striegel. Dawson's keeping it. He knocked down on the 41-yard line for about a yard gain. Carmelik come up from safety to make the stop for the Bulldogs. Monticello from the huddle. Dawson trips, and he gets away and dives forward. He fumbled the ball, but I think he was down. He got close to the first down. That was an unusual play. Dawson first trips, then he falls, and then he fumbles, but it all amounts to a first down for the Sages. How about that? Monticello with a first down. Oh, crap. All right, on first down from the 45-yard line. Looking to throw. Got time. Looking. Going to go try to go deep. They're wrestling for the ball. St. Teresa knocks it down. Good. Fans don't like it, but it's a pretty good defensive effort by St. Teresa. Durbin got a hand on the ball. He probably had the other hand on the receiver, but it's called an incomplete pass, so it'll be 2nd and 10. Second and 10 from the 45 of Monticello. 9:12 left in the game. Now we got a whistle blow and a flag. Somebody might have lined up in a neutral zone. I don't know. Nope, it's on Monticello. Illegal procedure. So that's going to hurt. That's going to make it 2nd and 15. Back to the Monticello 40-yard line. This probably will be a pass play. They need quite a few yards. Looking to throw Dawson. A short pass. Complete to Gaskell. Gaskell across the 50 and drives all the way down to the 46. He gained 4 yards on his own that time and very close to the first down. That's a big play for Monticello after the 5-yard walk-off. They're a yard short of the first down. Third and 1. Only setback is Striegel. He's got the ball. He's got the first down. He's still going, and he drives all the way to the 39-yard line. What an outstanding run by Pat Striegel. He just didn't want to be stopped. All right, on the 40-yard line, 39-yard line that is, of St. Teresa. First down, under the throw again. Now he's looking for Baker. He caught it, and he got about 6 yards. Tight end Baker went out in the flat, turned around, and got the ball. And I'll tell you, quarterback Jack Dawson is delivering the ball to his receivers. That's going to help things for Striegel when he runs, because they're going to have to start really respecting the pass. 7:51 left in the ball game. Sages trail 7-0. This is Striegel, but he's not going to go anywhere this time. Coming across with one of the linemen and got a hold of him and stopped him. That was Bragg of St. Teresa, and lost on the play. Striegel lost his shoe, I believe. He's coming out of the lineup. Coming in to take his place is Pat Bailey. And Monticello is going to take a timeout. The score is 7-0 St. Teresa. 7:22 left in the game. It is getting intensified here as the Sages are trying to make a drive. Here's the snap. Looking to throw. In trouble. He's going to put it in the air. He's got a man down there. It's a touchdown. No, he's at the 1-yard line. A pass complete to Gaskell on a dead run, and he was tackled on the 1. So The Sages are in. Let's see where they may have marked it on the 2. I thought sure he was going to make it to the end zone, but he was tackled from behind. Great pass from Jack Dawson, who was in trouble, squirmed around, never lost sight of his receiver. Now Monticello at the goal line on the 2. Dawson's going to keep it, and he's not going to make it. He's thrown back to almost the 5. He lost a couple of yards. That hurt. Now we're looking at 2nd and 5. I'll tell you, as the passing has been so successful, I'm not so sure it wouldn't be a good idea to take those last 3 downs and go through the air with them. Although there's not a lot of room for the receivers to get open. Looking to throw. He's going for the corner of the end zone to Gaskell. Touchdown! Touchdown to Gaskell in the corner of the end zone. The Sages have scored. Now with an extra point, they can tie the game. Oh. Alex Moody will kick the extra point. 6:38 left. Puts it down. The kick is in the air. And it's good. The game is tied. 7-7. A Monticello football team that got beat 48-12 early in the season by St. Teresa now finds themselves in the 3rd round of the playoffs, tied 7-7 with 6:38 left to play. Monticello will be kicking off. Moody will be kicking. Yeah, nice kick, a deep kick. Well, not too deep, the 15-yard line. And McElroy is hit at the 23-yard line and brought down by a great effort by the Monticello kickoff team. It looked like in on the tackle was Cerveny and Vesna. Great job by the kickoff team covering that kick. St. Teresa with the ball on a 25 now, as Sages have played, as I said earlier, up to that point, and I'll say it up to this point, no doubt the best defensive game that they've played this season. St. Teresa sends a man in motion. Quarterback keeps it, and he's loose. Oh my, stumbled, or he might have went all the way. Woo! That was Cormalick, who cut inside, was tripped up a little bit, then stumbled and went all the way to the 39-yard line. A play they've not used very often. They've usually just ran out of the I formation, either ran the fullback or the tailback. Pretty much standard I formation football, but they went to the option that time and the quarterback kept it and fooled the Sages. Cormalick, the quarterback, gives to the tailback, and he's hit hard, but Striegel really came up and made the stop. He hit McElroy hard. Both boys are a little slow getting up, especially McElroy. McElroy may be hurt. That was a really hard hit. Striegel diagnosed that play perfectly. He met him right at the line of scrimmage. Second down and 10. What a football game. St. Teresa sends 2 receivers wide to the left. The quarterback keeps it, but he's not fooling anybody this time, and he stopped at the line of scrimmage and maybe picked up a yard. Donaldson was in on the tackle. He had help from Kyle Husengay and maybe some others. 3rd and 9 for the Bulldogs. St. Teresa's play style, ball control play style, doesn't work as well when the score is tied as it does when you're ahead. They're probably going to have to go to the air on third down. Quarterback does drop back to pass. Rolling out, in trouble. Throws it in the ground. Incomplete, and it'll be kicking down for St. Teresa. Good pass defense by the deep backs from Monticello. They had the receivers covered. And St. Teresa sends in their kicking team. It's 7-7 with 4:38 to play in the game. Feeney is going to stand on his 25, waiting for a punt. Got the wind at his back. It's a line drive kick. Feeney lets it bounce, and it bounces away from him, and it's going to roll all the way down to about the 8-yard line. My, that turned out to be a great kick for St. Teresa. Feeney couldn't catch the ball, and it took a great St. Teresa roll. And Monticello's got a long ways to go. The scores came. St. Teresa scored with second quarter, 8:35 to play, when after a long drive, Nelson went 3 yards. Monticello scored on a Dawson to Gaskell pass from about the 4-yard line just a few moments ago. Back in dangerous territory, the Sages are going to have to hang on to that football. Quarterback Dawson is going to keep it. Got some room coming up the middle. Got to about the 13. Nice, smart move by Jack Dawson. Started outside, saw a little room, and he picked up about 6 yards, so it's going to be second down. But the Sages are deep in their own territory on the 14-yard line. It's 7-7 on the scoreboard. Clock is down to 4 minutes left in the game. There's Striegel coming up the middle. Striegel breaks into the clear. He's at the 30. He's still going. He cuts back. He's still going at the 50. It's Striegel at the 40. He's got one man to catch him. He's at the 20. And Striegel goes into the end zone for a touchdown for the Sages. What a run. The crowd, listen to the crowd. What a run for Pat Striegel. A tremendous run. The ball was on the 14-yard line. He went 86 yards with plenty of Bulldogs having opportunities to tackle him. One of the most exciting football runs I've ever seen, and I've been watching Sages football since about 1968. They'll attempt to kick the extra point with Moody. Moody's kick is high enough. And it's good. Monticello leads 14-7 with 3:40 to play. Is that 80? You know, you're on the 14, like an 86-yard run. All right, Monticello will kick off. It's going to be up to the defense. St. Teresa's got plenty of time with 3:40 left. Pat Striegel just electrified me and the crowd with that long touchdown run of 86 yards. A low line drive kick bouncing down to the 22-yard line. And still running backwards now. This guy's going the wrong way with the ball, and he's knocked down at the 16-yard line. Wow! Looking for room, but looking the wrong direction. That was Durbin. You can't find room on a short kick. You got to pick it up and go straight ahead. He knocked down, they mark it at the 20-yard line. I thought he was worse off than that. So, a 14-7 lead for Monticello with 3:31 to play. And Sage is an underdog to St. Teresa, trying for the win with a 14-7 lead. Back to throw. On first down, he's in trouble. It's incomplete. Incomplete pass. Carmelink rolls out when he throws. He doesn't throw out of a drop back. And that makes it good in the fact that he can see better, but he tends to be throwing on the move and not getting that back foot planted, and it makes it harder to throw accurately. But it stops the clock. But St. Teresa may be committed to passing now because it's second down and they have 10 yards to go. Man in motion for the Bulldogs. Carmelik back to throw again. Again, he's rolling out. He's got a man open this time. He caught the ball and he's knocked out of bounds on about the 38 or 9-yard line. That was a good play by the Bulldogs. He hit Durbin. Same guy that ran backwards on the kickoff and got him in trouble. Caught the ball and got it up to the 39-yard line. And the clock is stopped. 3:18. And St. Teresa has picked up 19 yards since starting this drive on their own 20. Two receivers wide to the left for the Bulldogs. One of them comes in motion back this way. Back to throw again is Carmelek. Scrambling around. Gets away from a couple of tacklers. He's still scrambling. He's still running. He finally tosses it out. The short pass, and I think it's a completed pass. If it is, it's good for 5 yards. And it went out of bounds and stopped the clock. That was a sort of a lateral, but the player was in front of him, which is legal. It makes it a forward pass in the stat sheet. Picked up 6, and St. Teresa's up to the 45-yard line. The Sages have got their work cut out for them because the clock hasn't been running. They've stopped at every play. There's still 3:07 to play. They may choose to go to the ground now thinking they got more time. Nope, yeah. Draw play that wouldn't work. 6 Sages made the tackle. Donaldson was in there along with a bunch of friends. Austin Hill was in there, and Monticello made a big play there. After the 6-yard gain, they now lost yards. Husengay also on that tackle. It's going to be 3rd down and 7. What a ball game. Sages lead 14-7, 2:34 left. The clock is moving now. 3rd down for the Bulldogs. Back to throw after some fakes. Quarterback Cormelek fires. Knocked down on a diving play. A great defensive effort by Monticello's Josh Blicken. Sages had Deceiver recovered, but he was going to catch the ball. They had somebody else guarding him, but Blicken dove in front of him and got a hand on the ball and knocked it down. And the Bulldogs are looking at 4th down now and 7. They need a 1st down or they're going to lose the ball with 2:22 to play. The crowd is fired up, as you might well believe. Flag on the play before it gets started, and I don't know what it's on, but we'll find out. It's on Monticello. Oh, my. That really hurts. It must have been somebody in the neutral zone. That hurts because now they don't have to make but 2 yards for the 1st down. Oh, what a pain that is. They had him in really bad position with 7 yards needed for the 1st down. Now they only need 2. They're on their own 47-yard line. The clock's running again. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. Back to throw. He's in trouble. He's tackled. He's stopped by H.R. Colbert broke through the line and threw him before he had a chance to pass. Big defensive play by H.R. Colbert. And the Sages take over on the St. Teresa 30-yard line, and they're about to pull a big upset. 2:05 left. You know, I thought I was too old to get this excited, but this is just that kind of a football game. Monticello will come out, and I would assume put the ball in the hands of Striegel and try to let that clock run. He's the only back. Quarterback's going to keep it, and he doesn't make anything, and he dropped the ball, but I think the whistle had blown. So no gain. In fact, he lost a yard. With the timeouts, they're not going to be able to run the clock out. Clock is stopped now. 1:55, and St. Teresa takes a timeout. The keeper call there probably was a good call, because I know I expected Striegel to get the ball, and it seemed like that if Dawson kept it, it would be a good call, but it didn't work. Hard after twisting away at the line of scrimmage, he's knocked backwards and he didn't get much. But the clock is going to run, and the Bulldogs are going to take another timeout. So with 1:47 left, Sages get the ball, still have the ball, and it'll be 3rd and 10 after the timeout. For you here, Sages have 3rd down and 10. St. Teresa's used at least 2 of their timeouts. They can't have more than 1 left, but the clock shows 1 minute and 47 seconds. One good thing, the ball's in St. Teresa territory on the 38-yard line. Quarterback Dawson is looking to throw, which surprised me. It's complete, and out of bounds with it goes Gaskell for a 1st down, and that ought to be it. I'm telling you, this combination of Dawson and Gaskell has been something to behold. Outstanding call. I'm telling you, if it don't work, it's a bad call. It stops the clock, but you got to hand it to the coach for Becue for gambling when it counted. Now they will just down the clock, and I believe we can run the clock out without running the ball. I think it can be over 1 more timeout. Oh, he's going to run a quarterback sneak. Might as well down it, Jack. Monticello looks like they're going to win a big upset. What a comeback from a 48-14 loss earlier in the year. Now they come back in this big playoff game, and we'll put them in the semifinals. We got the last time out by St. Teresa. We still got 1 minute and 49 seconds left to play. Strange things have happened in football games. Like Jack Dawson run a quarterback sneak when he could have been down on the ball. Oh, he hands it off to Striegel. And Striegel gets down inside the 24. I believe we can run the clock out without any timeouts, without running the ball. We have 2 more downs, and there's 1 minute and 15 left. Down to 1 minute 10. We could even let the clock run down and take a 5-yard penalty, and then we've still got 2 downs to go. There's really no need in us doing anything but downing the ball, but what a win this is going to be. 14-7 Sages. He runs a quarterback sneak. He picks up about 2 yards. And Monticello will have 4th down coming up. The clock right now shows 44 seconds. They don't have to start the clock for a while, and I believe they'll be able to run it out. They may let it run down. No, they let it run down. That'll stop the clock. They don't want to do that. 28 seconds. They're standing there. 21. It's 16 seconds to play. I don't think the clock's going to run down. They take a timeout. Monticello, they got a flag. I think they waited too long. Well, there's 10 seconds left. The idea was to take a timeout, and if they do that, they stop the clock with 10 seconds, and Monticello will have the ball as we go 1 more play, we hope. All right, the Sages come out of the huddle. They'd like to eat up all 10 seconds on this play, but if they down the ball, Clock will stop, and St. Teresa will get another chance. It's 4th down. The line of scrimmage is the 12-yard line. Dawson straight ahead. The clock's 6 seconds, and the clock is stopped, and Monticello will turn it over with 6 seconds to play. So the defense is going to have to come out on the field. And St. Teresa will have a first down with the ball on her own 10-yard line. Don't say you can't make 90 yards on one play. Pat Streakle made 84 yards on one play, or 86 yards just a while ago. Monticello's touchdowns came from Dawson to Gaskell on a pass and on Streakle on a fantastic 86-yard run. St. Teresa out of the huddle. Monticello, of course, has their deep backs playing really deep, which might be a little dangerous. Quarterback looks to throw. He's in trouble. He goes down. The game's over. The Sages win. Monticello has upset St. Teresa. What an outstanding football game. Monticello wins it 14-7. Crowd is onto the field. It's full of excitement. Well, that was